Hey blockchain visionaries, I'm George Levy. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a very special trip down memory lane in the history of Bitcoin. I'm going to take you back to the beginning of 2017, and in the process, I'm going to share with you a transaction that I recorded on January 2017, in which I hit a very special message. Beyond that, I'm going to take you across multiple blockchain hard forks that have happened on Bitcoin, and what happened to the transaction that I recorded inside. It's going to be a very educational lesson, and I hope you learn a lot out of it. We're going to get started now. So in this lesson, I actually want to take you back to January 2017 and give you some history of what's happened in Bitcoin. And specifically, I want to focus on a specific transaction that I recorded on January 2017. So this is actually a historic price chart of Bitcoin. And as you can see the huge bull run that we had from the beginning of 2017, how we actually climbed all the way up to approximately close to $20,000. And then we had the bear market, and then we started climbing right back up. And right now we're at around 11,000 and change. This past week we hit 12,000, but currently we're hovering around 11,500. We hit up to 11,700, but that's currently where we're hovering around. But I want to take you back again to the beginning of January 2017, when Bitcoin was definitely less than $1,000. So the key point I want to tell you is that right around the time that I'm pointing right now on your screen, that's January 20th. On January 19th, I actually recorded a Bitcoin transaction and I hid a message inside it. I did that so that I could preserve that message in a permanent and immutable way on the Bitcoin blockchain. However, since that message took place, not only has Bitcoin actually increased in price dramatically, we also have had multiple hard forks, which have split the blockchain into different cryptocurrencies. So whenever I talk about we're changing the world one blockchain at a time, I say that because there are many blockchains, and many people don't know that, and they think there's only one blockchain. In fact, the Bitcoin blockchain in August 2017 split into two separate blockchains. There's the Bitcoin blockchain and the Bitcoin Cash blockchain. And the Bitcoin Cash software blockchain kept on growing, and eventually it forked on its own, which eventually spun off Bitcoin SV. So what you wind up having is what used to be just one blockchain split into two blockchains when we created Bitcoin Cash, and then Bitcoin Cash split into two blockchains when it became Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV. They're all separate cryptocurrencies with individual blockchains. However, something very important about it is that they share the same information right up to the hard fork that split them apart. So let me tell you exactly about the transaction I'm talking about. The transaction I'm talking about is this transaction here, which took place on January 19th, 2017. You don't see anything special about this transaction here, but I actually hid a special message inside it. And you can view it if you actually go to Blockchair. Blockchair lets you look inside a field called the op return. Inside op return, I hid a message. The message says, the internet broke and blockchain is here to fix it. That message was recorded in a permanent and immutable way inside this transaction that you see right here. Now, the fascinating thing is that when the hard fork took place and Bitcoin Cash spun off, this block, specifically 448,882, was found in both blockchains, because as of the time of the hard fork that split Bitcoin into Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, the block 448,882 had already happened. It had happened back in January 2017. But when the hard fork took place in August of 2017, that was one of the blocks that was already still included in Bitcoin Cash. So this block contained my transaction in Bitcoin, and it included my transaction inside Bitcoin Cash as well. Now, the fascinating thing is that Bitcoin Cash itself spun into two blockchains. It broke off from Bitcoin Cash into Bitcoin SV. And Bitcoin SV included that transaction because it was part of Bitcoin Cash. So as you can see, my transaction was across all those specific cryptocurrencies. Let me see exactly how this plays out. Blockchair enables me to look into multiple blockchains. So if you look inside Bitcoin in block 448,882, you will find that my message is inside it. And if you go inside Bitcoin Cash, inside block 448,882, my message is also inside that one. And guess what? If you go into Bitcoin SV, you can find that same block 448,882, which contains my message as well. So my message has been replicated across all three of those specific blockchains. Why? Because it all began with Bitcoin. Bitcoin spun off Bitcoin Cash, and then Bitcoin Cash spun off Bitcoin SV. And my message was recorded in Bitcoin, which became part of Bitcoin Cash and became part of Bitcoin SV. Fascinating thing is that you can actually look across other forks that have happened. So this is Bitcoin Atom, here's Bitcoin Diamond, here's Bitcoin Gold. All of these have the same block, 448,882, because they were all created from hard forks that originally broke off of Bitcoin, BTC. And that is the message for today. And remember always, we're changing the world one blockchain at a time.